Hello and good afternoon. And I'm swooshing in with my crystal to bring in Ferny and Blaine. And I'm so happy to have both of you here. Yeah. Thanks for being here, guys. Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
So we're going to probably be another few minutes before a lot of people start coming in. But oops, questions are not closed. That was from my morning show. Let me change that because that would be silly. We just started.
Yes.
Yeah. But I do want to put in that people want a reading. They can put in the word read and we'll use, here we go. There you go. And we will use the giveaway tool in order to do that. So yeah, I'm so glad that both of you were able to come today.
Yes, thank you for having me back.
Playing on, and now I got double trouble, and I love it.
Just careful what you wish for. You know.
I know.
I hear it. I hear you. So I would be remiss not to tell you that it was their birthdays last week and their anniversary last week. So
Yeah.
triple blessings to the two of you. Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, triple trouble, Ellen. Yeah, I guess I'm one. I'm also one that's infamous for making trouble. Oh, wow. So Star Midnight, she recently had a reading with you. That's wonderful.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm happy.
Yeah. And so, yes, both of their YouTube channels are in the show notes. Blaine is really new to what he's doing. But you know,
new to this. How about that?
Yeah, new YouTube channel. And Ferny, of course, has a YouTube channel and also has his own website. And I think you might too, Blaine. Am I right? You have a website as well?
Yes. BlainePatrickSmith.com. And then
you have it right there. Okay.
All my socials, Blaine Reads Tarot. So it works out great. Right. I got all that branding.
Wow, look at that. You're going to have to get the t-shirts now.
I know. I've looked. This was the business thing. They're like, oh, do you want a t-shirt for like $15 extra? And I had to be like, I kind of do. But it's all right. It'll be there later.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Absolutely. Yep. So hi, Arlene. Hello, Jackie. Hi, Spiritual Garden. Samantha, Arlene, Forney, Wiki, Nancy. Let's see. Jackie B, LP, Evelyn R, Star Midnight. And LP says happy birthday. Samantha says happy birthday. Wiki, happy birthday and anniversary. Yeah, we get a lot of people wishing you good. Spiritual Garden, thank you for the donation. And I see that you are in the list for the readings. That's good. All right. Yep. So if you, okay. That's always what I like to hear.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's really nice. Yes. And so we have Patrick Cullen coming in.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So yes, Ferny just got back to Santa Fe after visiting with Blaine for about 8 days, I think you said.
Yeah, a little over a week.
Yeah. Hard to say goodbye, I'm sure.
It is, but I'll see him. I'll be down there with those cats soon enough in a couple of weeks.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Yeah. And that would be a beautiful time of the year to be there, I think.
Yeah.
May and June, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, the flowers are starting to bloom and you can smell the jasmine in the air, which is like one of my favorite smells.
Oh, mine
so it's
too.
really nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes. Hello, Dawn. It's nice to see you and Michelle.
Thank you,
and
Dawn.
Yvonne. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So I know that we could probably sit here and BS for a while, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull some names. What I like to do is pull, say, 3 at a time so that we can keep the flow going. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And then we'll start some readings for you because I know that's what you're here for. By the way, I believe you two also go on to Facebook and Instagram too?
Yeah.
Live?
Yeah.
Both of them. Okay. So I have seen that they have streamed together live on their Facebook and their Instagram channels. And so if you can't get enough of these two, which I never can, you can go ahead and do that. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to put this up here and see what we can do. All right. Some people coming in early. You're you're poised to have better luck than those who might come in later. So, all right, Jackie B, you'll be the first.
E.
Yep. So if you don't have a question in there, please put one in if you would. So Jackie, you're first, and let's see who's next. Dawn. All right, Dawn, you came right in at the right time, it looks like. Okay.
Well, I think I remember Dawn's beautiful horse from last time.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. I love the animal pictures, don't you? I think they're wonderful. Yeah. All right, Nancy Ray, you'll be number 3. Anybody, by the way, if it gets, after a few readings here and I call your name, just let us know you're here, because we need your energy in order to do the reading. So that is wonderful. All right. So Jackie B, do you have a question in here? If not, please put it in ASAP. And Dawn and Nancy. Hi, look who's here, Marina. Hi, Marina.
Hi, Marina.
I know you're going to be on with Marina tomorrow, aren't you, Blaine?
I am. Yeah, I'm done. This is getting all out there today.
You're prepping for that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. Anybody that's coming in right now, please type #read, and you'll be put into the drawing for the questions. All right. Hi, Dora. Susie Culver. All right, Jackie B, here we go. There's for you.
All right.
I'm going to let you guys do most of the readings. I'm going to be busy handling the chat. So that's what I'm going to do today. Yeah.
All right. Okay, Jackie. So I pulled that 10 of Wands. Never the nicest one to see. The 10 of Wands is about feeling overburdened and feeling like your energy is going 8 million different directions, and that it actually sort of, as it kind of shows up in the image, that it stops the flow of all these wands. Everything's all bunched up together. So this feels kind of like the finances are going to be a big fixture this year, and maybe it's going to feel like your flow is not where it should be, that you're not that you're maybe feeling overburdened. So I wonder if that's overburdened with expenses, not overburdened with abundance as we would like to be. I don't know, baby, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I agree. Immediately as I was reading your question, I was like, it's not that you need to know, it's that you need to practice better self-restraint and really getting realistic with your financial situation. What I mean by that, and what I'm referring to, is I'm reminded of myself sometimes when I have a lot of things that I need to do, but the amount of money flowing in can only go so far. And you have to make difficult decisions to just say no to some things and to just pull back on some of the things that, even though you really want to put money towards and financial flow towards, you just can't. And so you have to know your limitations. And I think part of it is, of course, we always think that making more money is going to make everything better. I know people who have all the money in the world and still have just as many problems as those of us who don't have the money. So it's not about how much money you have. It's about focusing your finances, focusing your money flow on the things that you really need to be taken care of, and not trying to live a life that you cannot afford. So you may just need to really pull back on some of the things that are not serving you right now. It doesn't mean you have to say no to those things forever. Just put them on the shelf for a minute, focus on the other things, because that'll help you to start to get some control and some balance again.
I also pulled like the where you are sort of scenario, and then this is from a new Oracle deck I'm working with. Yeah, I know, Aley, totally, you got me going. As a, sort of an action, and this is, you can see, this is the symbol for air. And so anytime we see air in this realm, it asks us on how are we thinking? It asks us to see things clearly. It asks us to, often the air is connected with swords in the tarot. And so the sword is always great for cutting away what is no longer necessary, cutting through to the truth. And so I think this is asking you to be really clear and really focused on how you think around this question, and maybe to try to cut through some of all of the feelings of overburden and burnout, and to really get a clear think on what you're doing and how to proceed forward.
I love that. And that's the man who is the symbologist. Blaine's very much into symbology, and and of course theater, which I absolutely love. And speaking of theater, there are 2 cats on the bed behind you, Fernie, and they're adorable. So thank you.
And they
All
are little
right.
genius. I can attest to that. They are little genius.
I bet they are. All right. So we've got Dawn Turner, who wants to tell you that the mayor's name is Dixie. Her question is, how is my dad going to be? He went into the hospital yesterday. Okay.
I'm sorry to hear
Sorry
that.
to hear that. Yeah.
So let's just see.
And remembering that we are for entertainment purposes only, and they are not doctors. Just
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I don't know if this is helpful for your dad, but this is the 8 of Swords, and so I absolutely feel your anxiety around this right now. The 8, any of the high swords are always about our fears, our anxieties, and sometimes the 8 is about feeling trapped, and so it tells me that this is where your mind is really focused on this environment right now and focused on your dad's health. So I don't know. This is telling me more about your place right now, but
it's hard.
As he was reading all of that, my mother called, and Blaine knows all the drama with my mom, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what a perfect representation of the energy. I think, Don, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a challenging period, not just for you emotionally, but I think that there are going to be 3 either instances or episodes or things to come within the rest of this year that he's got to get over. So these 3 hurdles. So my thinking is that he's gone into the hospital. He just went into the hospital. I feel like he will get to a stable place after that. And then 2 or 3 months may go by, and then something else comes up that might cause complications or challenges to his existing condition, and then he's got to deal with that, and then I feel like he's able to get through that, and then we've got a third. So the rest of this year might feel like it's just one thing after the next. I do believe that the energy is there for him to work through each of those situations. It is just going to feel emotionally overwhelming, and that's the thing that you have to focus on, because you can only control so much. You can't really control like how he's going to do. That's in the hands of the doctors. You can't really control what he's going to choose to do. That's in his mind and his heart. All you can control is what you can offer and what you can give and assist with in the moment as he needs it. But I feel like it's going to be a challenging rest of the year for his health, but I do think he can come through it.
And then I pulled this sort of action around how, and it's spiritual cleansing. So this is the answer, I think, to this feeling of anxiety that where you're at right now. And of course you feel anxious around your dad's health, and it sounds like what might be coming up for him. And so this asks you to, how do you deal with your own heaviness? How do you get out of a place of of your sword realm, your air, your mental stuff challenging you? And it's asking you, some of it is just breathing and trying to release some of the heaviness, if at all possible. And what can you do to maintain your own well-being as someone else that you care about is having troubles right now? And it's hard. That is the epitome of helplessness around that.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry to hear about your dad.
Yeah, me too. I think that, they take care of us, and when it's our turn to take care of them, we're put in that same position they were. And Dawn, I send lots of love to him and hopes that everything is goes well and he heals up well. Thank you, Dawn. All right. So this is Nancy Ray, and she wonders if we see her moving this year.
Well, I pulled the 2 of Cups for you. So I'm not sure. This is telling me, I don't know your relationship situation, but perhaps this is a question best asked if there's partnership in your life, or perhaps maybe this is a question around partnership. If you're moving, it's something that you would do together. So this is Cups, this is water, this is your emotional place. And I'm not getting, so I'm going to ask a little clarity question while Fernie talks a little bit, see if I can get you a better answer, because that doesn't feel clear to me.
I'm kind of thinking, I feel like you might attempt to make a move happen a couple of times, maybe 3 times. I feel like it's going to come down to timing. Part of it has to do with like the circumstances and whether it's ideal for you to move or if it's a necessity for you to move. But I keep feeling like several attempts. I'm thinking there's 2 attempts, and then I think on the third one it happens. So I'm thinking that there's like 2 times where you try to plan this or try to plan for it and kind of work around what's needed to make that happen. I think on the third attempt or the third time that it comes up as an option, that's when you do it. I'm going to put this in. I kind of want to put this into January, February of next year. As much as I hope that you would be able to move this year, I'm thinking you may not be able to make it happen until next spring, early next year, late winter, early spring.
Okay.
So I asked around an action around this, and this is divinity, and divinity is kind of a warning and a blessing. So how do you proceed? And it's encouraging you to follow your truest self, follow the part that feels fulfilling to you. And so in a way, it does sort of echo this idea of not necessarily that it's around partnership, but maybe your focus this year, instead of moving, is around how, are you trying to leave a bad place? Are you trying to get to a better place and work on what will bring you that sort of completion, that ideal?
Wow. I just pulled one card out of a stack of cards that said rebuild. That's what I got.
Yeah, and she said
I don't ever use that deck. Yeah.
She was saying, I am in no hurry, but I am looking for a place around like-minded people, which would make sense if she's trying to rebuild her community, rebuild, and which I completely understand. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like Santa Fe so much, because there are so many like-minded people here. And one of the reasons why I also like Portland, because I can totally relate to the people there as well. So I really get that.
Yeah, so this is now sounding more that you're looking more for emotional connection and emotional fulfillment. And it may not be, if we pulled a wand, wands are all about movement and wanderlust. And so I feel like you need to find what feels right to you wherever you are. But it's the old thing of like, if you go on vacation because you're having problems, you're still going to take your problems with you on vacation. So how do we, will moving help you feel connected, or is there something you can do in your location now to feel more connected? I hope that's helpful.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's great. So we got to pull some more people. If you have not yet done it, you have to put in pound or hashtag read, and you will get, we'll see who will get it. And if your name is called, let us know you're here, please, and put your question in so that we can try to get, as many as we can. So Edward, I did see you had a question. All right. Good to see. All right. Next, Poison. And both these gentlemen have their own websites and their own YouTube channels. The information on the YouTube channels. Christine, you're next.
Yes, Christine.
The information on the YouTube channels are in the chat. I mean, in the show notes. Sorry, but yeah, we're going to get them both really busy on YouTube, right, guys? All right, very good. All right, Tea Garden Chicken, you are third, and remove that. And so, Edward, I know I have your question, so I'm going to try to find it. There it is. Edward is just interested in a general reading on the remainder of the year, if possible.
Well, that's a 30-minute process for me. So if there's a specific thing you want to tune into, like put that in there so I can kind of tell my brain what to do, because my brain is like an octopus. It'll go everywhere. So give me a topic or something you want to specifically focus on.
Okay.
King of Coins. So this feels like a good sign around building prosperity and abundance and being the master of your material realm. So I hope it feels like it's a prosperous. And it's not necessarily around money. It is also around being the master of like the resources that we give to others and then we get back. That we have spiritually rewarding, energizing, and you flow within our lives, and that this guy is sort of the king of stability and very grounded, very active in working hard. And so I hope that feels like it tracks. Finance. Well, look at that.
And he just bought Fernie's book, so good finances for him too.
Okay, so now my book, right? Let's talk about my book, right?
Please talk about your book.
Ferny.com. Okay, so finances. So what I try to do, if I try to gauge a person's finances for the year, I try to see it as kind of like a line graph. So I start from today and I move out about a year. And I look at each month and I try to see if there are any peaks or dips, anything that's shifting there in any way. And then I try to figure out why is that peaking or why is that dipping. I am seeing a dip during December time. So I would say you might have a few expenses come up during June, July, and part of August that are going to feel a little bit cumbersome and annoying just because I don't feel like some of this is budgeted for you. One thing specifically that I'm thinking about is I keep seeing some issues coming. I'm actually reminded of something that I had to deal with recently. I had a pipe burst when I was in Oregon the last time in my utility room. Luckily, there's a drain there, so it just didn't really do much damage to anything other than the walls got a little wet. But it was an unexpected expense. If this were my home and not a rental, I would have to cover the cost of that. But even if it weren't my home and it's a rental, and if some of my things were affected, that would be on me, and I would have to cover the cost of that with my insurance. I keep thinking of water pipes and water and like expenses around the fluids going through pipes and such. So I don't know if this is in reference to a vehicle and something going on with your radiator and the water, the coolant system not operating, or this has got actually to do with your home space and the water pipes needing to be addressed, specifically around I wish I could talk to him because I could ask him some of the follow-up questions. Do you know if there's been any weird changes or leaking in the bathroom or in the toilet area of your home, Edward?
Yeah, write it in, Edward. I'll let you know as soon as I see it. All right. Any water leaks? First, I thought you just got into my energy because I just had to replace my whole plumbing system.
You know what? It's going around.
It is going around.
Yeah, it's going around. Not recent. Okay. So what I would say, Edward, is in the bathroom where the pipe system, the plumbing system is for the toilet system. I keep feeling something's off, and I also keep hearing like a weird sound. I don't want to say it's a banging, but it's kind of like a subtle sound that reminds me of whenever a pipe is not fixed properly, or it's not it's moving, or it's becoming a bit movable rental with iron pipes from the 60s. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. If you start to notice leaking in that area, you may need to bring it up to the attention of the owner, because I keep thinking that if there's going to be a leak there or something bursts, it may cause issues for you, even though it's it's a rental. You don't have to fix the actual plumbing, but your things, your belongings in that area might become damaged, which might become an unexpected expense for you. So you may need to pay attention to that, because I feel like something feels off to me in that area.
Okay.
I will also say, the follow-up to mine around the King of Coins, particularly around finances, you got courage, and courage tells you to leap first. Just do things, act. Don't take some risks. It seems like it will pay off. But the problem sometimes with this guy is he's too stuck in his own ways, that you're being encouraged to just follow the lightning and take a risk.
There you go. There you go. Wow. Well, forewarned is forearmed. I'll just say that. So how about that? Yeah. Yeah, that's great. All right. So our next one is Christine, and I did see yours, Christine. All right. All right. We got a lot of energy around apartments and moving and everything. When do you see me able to rent my duplex 2511?
I don't know. This isn't really, around specific timings. I would say this is not my strong suit. I also pulled the 6 of Cups, which makes not much sense. I'm going to have to look this one up and see how this might work around this. But yeah, like it, I don't know. Babe, do you have any?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I wish it would be sooner rather than later. I keep seeing the beginning of September. It's quite a while from now to be able to rent it out and keep it rented, because I feel like you might find someone to rent it out to in the next month and a half or two. I just don't think that person's going to actually end up being your renter, or they may only go in for like such a short period of time, and then that becomes a little bit of a process to deal with that. But I keep seeing the beginning of September being the beginning of like an ongoing rental situation. So I keep thinking by the beginning of September, you'll have more of an ongoing regular renter on that property. However, again, before that, there's this weird energy that I'm seeing around someone trying to get in there during the middle of June, going into July, and I don't feel like they're going to stick around or they're going to be staying for very long. Also, you might have to adjust the pricing of it slightly.
So
Okay.
I pulled another around the action, and it is release. And this is about cutting toxic people out of your lives. And so the Six of Cups is maybe making sense in this way that the six is around forgotten joy, treasured memories of the past, kind of idealizing of the past. And so I'm wondering, and you don't have to tell us, please, and I hope this resonates, around renting the duplex, if there are some bad memories, if there are some, if, this sounds like there is a change that has happened, that you're being encouraged to cut toxic people out of your lives. So usually this is like treasure the past, treasure those past moments, but you're being encouraged to reevaluate those scenarios and those relationships, and that maybe it's worthwhile to perform a little bit of relationship surgery on yourself. And so I don't know, but I'm wondering if the idea around renting, if there aren't some deeper connections there.
It could also be the 6 month too. The 6 from the 6.
Yeah, it
Could also mean the 6 month also. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's somebody that perhaps Christine knows,
Right.
and that they're pushing that boundary, but the card I got was money. They don't want to pay what you want for the, I don't know. That's just my thought. Yeah. Love it. Thanks, guys. All right.
Thank you, Christine.
So yes, we have tea garden chicken, which is one of our favorite handles for somebody here. What does spirit want me to concentrate on at this time? I'm kind of scattered with all the options, and it's a spiritual reading, I believe. Yeah.
So we got the Five of Coins, and the Five of Coins is about feeling lack. It's about feeling poverty. It's about being in a place of want. And it asks you to reach out for help. It tells you that even if you're feeling like you're in this place of lacking, that help is nearby, but you have to reach out and ask for it. And so I'm wondering if, you're feeling kind of scattered. Like, is there someone or something you can reach out to help you with this, to be a lens to sort of focus all of this scattered energy? Is there something around asking for help? Because it's feeling like winter right now for you, perhaps.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling you got to focus on the basics. And what I mean by that is you might have plenty of great ideas, but executing those ideas may take time, energy, and you may currently not be in a position where you can direct enough of your energy to one idea to make it work for you. You may have to focus on the things that will support you and get you through. And for example, and I would say this is a survivor mentality. When we are in that survival mode, I can't focus on trying to I can't focus on trying to get the nicest piece of fabric to produce the greatest works of art in dressmaking. I have to focus on just getting a job so I can get some food for dinner. So it's the basics. And so what I'm saying is that doesn't mean you shouldn't have dreams and you shouldn't have goals that you are working towards. Quite the contrary, I would want you to do that, but you need to make sure you're putting enough energy towards your basics, because you have to maintain stability in your life. And if you're distracting yourself from that with ideas, too many to be able to focus singularly on one and follow through fully, it's going to keep you scattered, and it's actually going to hurt you in the process of thinking that you're trying to help yourself. So you may need to focus on basics first. Make sure you've got something consistently operating for you there, and then just pick one good idea and put your energy towards that. The universe will tell you whether that's the best fit for you or not. If it's not, it'll reroute you automatically, as long as you follow through with the work.
So I pulled the action, and like earlier on, it's the earth symbol, which is absolutely, as Fernie was saying, it's telling you to ground yourself. And now this is again an earth card. You are being encouraged to focus on what is real and in front of you. And yes, it may feel like the winter right now, but that tree will bloom, but you have to give it time, and you have to nourish it and transfer it. And so focus on what is tangible, what is grounded. How can you ground yourself and not be these coins floating up in the sky. Ground yourself to the earth, because it's from the earth that things actually grow.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, there you go. That was great. It's time to choose again. Those of you that would like to know about these two gentlemen, I'm going to put up right now. You can see for fernandomaron.com and blainepatricksmith.com. And they also have YouTube channels, and that information is in the show notes if you're interested in learning about it. Hello, Kevin Lewis. How are you?
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah,
Hey, Kevin.
It's nice to see you. Very nice to see you. All right, so we're going to go here, and we're going to go to the giveaway tool. Here we go. So please let us know you're here, and also put your question in if it isn't in already. That would be helpful. All right, thank you. Christine. Oh my goodness. All right.
I love the confetti. I know that's just such a.
Isn't that fun?
It feels fun.
It is. It's like a party, like a birthday party. All right, Dora.
Dora,
Those of you on Ferny's channel, make sure you put in the hashtag read and the questions so that I can see it if you win the drawing. And here we go. Kathy Nicholson, thank you very much. All right, I got to come over here and take that down. And then, all right, I got Dora's.
You laughing at my Mexican Coke, babe?
Yeah.
I don't usually drink soda, but okay, so he was here. We ordered lunch one day, and we were trying to eat a little well, and then secretly we got these big sandwiches, and I ordered a Mexican Coke and a moon pie, because like I can never find moon pies anymore, and I loved them as a kid. So I ordered all of those, and then I didn't drink the Coke that day, and so I was like, I need a little sugar, need a little caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
So I get my Mexican Coke, and he's laughing at me. He's laughing at me because I didn't share.
Don't they put in like a half a pound of sugar into it? Yeah.
No, but they use real sugar, and
mean,
they don't use corn syrup, and that's why it's delicious.
He just needs a little Mexican reminder when I'm gone. That's all. He just can't deal with
going
going
I
without.
thought we have some sweetness for once instead of something so spicy.
Oh, well, that's nice. I love that. All right. So, Christine Fryer, you have given yours to Carl Heese. So, Carl, you have to put in your question. And so I'm going to go on to Dora next, and then Kathy, and I'll come back to you, Carl. Okay. So that was very nice of you, Christine. She's very kind like that. So here we go. So Dora is a message from her mom, Ramona, who passed in January 2017.
Well, I'm sorry, Dora, about the passing of your mom.
Yeah.
It's never easy.
Definitely not.
Okay, so it's the Two of Wands. So I'm hoping that this will resonate with you. It's about making a choice. Your mom is perhaps saying, like, find a new path, take a trip, get some wanderlust. Like, this is about seeing the world, getting out into the world, and finding kind of new horizons. And so I hope that resonates, and I'll Ferno does his work.
Well, so I'm not sure if this is your mom that I'm connecting with, but I've got a female that I'm connecting with, and she's immediately reminded me of my aunt, Melba. My aunt Melba had a really weird situation play out where she had been dealing with cancer for several years, and then she ended up getting some sort of respiratory infection. And even though it was not cancer, her body had gone through so much that the respiratory infection had a really big impact on her system, and she just couldn't overcome it. And so I kind of feel, when it comes to your mom, if this is your mom communicating this, if she had been dealing with several issues, and then then something came up that wasn't technically the issue she had been dealing with, that came in and hit her system at just the right time to have a big impact on it, and there was really nothing that could be done to kind of reverse that or keep that from progressing to something more serious. And so it's one of those, like, don't feel guilty if you weren't able to be as involved or able to help as much, because this is maybe not something you could have made a difference with or changed, even though you may have felt that you could have, because it was supposed to happen. This was supposed to occur. It was her time to go, and she was supposed to. And it wasn't for you to stop or to keep that from happening. But her system had already been hit several times by something when she finally got this last thing that kind of took her took her system out. And so that's the vibe that I'm getting.
Uh-huh.
Also, I am hearing chimes. So I wonder if you have chimes that you associate with mom, or if you sit out and kind of have some chats with her and think about her and that she's aware of those conversations.
Oh, wow.
I also pulled protection. And this is a sign. This is your mom saying, you're good. I'm with you. You have all of this at your back. We're all here with you. And we want you to get out and do something. So this is saying, you're safe. We got you. We're with you. Now go take a chance, take a risk, travel a little bit, get out and enjoy your life.
Oh, how sweet. They're always worried about us, aren't they? They're always saying, we don't want to butt in, but yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Thank you so much, guys. All right. So here we go with moving again. I just moved to South Carolina. Do you see me getting a job fairly quickly?
The Magician. I love The Magician. The Magician's one of my favorites. So this is about beginnings and new beginnings. So I don't have because I can't know this. But the Magician is that you have all of the gifts at your command to make your reality happen. This is about manifestation. This is about creation. This is about willpower, discipline. It's telling you, hey, you have all of the elements at your command. So you answered this question, I think. This is telling me that, and it's a new journey. This is the first card in the series. And so it is absolutely saying you're in a new place. You have all the tools that you need to succeed.
Wow.
So I think that you will have to be a bit more practical and realistic about your expectations when it comes to getting a job, because I keep thinking that when something comes up, because I do think something will come up as an option, probably by the end of this month, maybe early June. I just feel like you're not going to consider it seriously, or you're just not going to be like, no, I don't want to do that. Because I feel like moving there, even though I think you're looking for a job, actively looking for a job, and you're trying to find something that's going to work for you, you might have this unrealistic expectation that it has to be a job that has all these specifics attached to it. And you have to think about, what do you need? Do you need just a job to pay some bills for the time being until you get something that's going to work for you? Or are you going to hold out till you find something that is an ideal? And I think if you hold out and wait for something that's an ideal, I do think it's going to take a lot more time than you would want it to. I think something comes up within the next month or so. I don't think that you're going to go with that, and that's just going to kind of delay, and then I feel like you're going to have to wait till maybe the beginning of August before something comes up that can work for you. I do think something else will come up around August that can work for you, but it's still going to feel like it's not ideal, but it's enough to where you could get your foot in the door and get something rolling. I want to say it has something to do with the educational system or educational administration.
Transmutation. This is about shedding of old skin to make room for new magic. The snake has it within you. So, sorry, upside down magician. So they both echo and respond to each other. So it's telling me that you have it within you to shed the skin in this new environment to create your own magic, and you're making space for that. And sometimes we have to shed these old things that we don't need anymore.
Yeah. I'm wondering, as soon as Ferny, you started saying about lowering expectations, it's monetary I got, because the pay scale in South Carolina is not equal to bigger places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. So yeah, it's awful when you're used to making a certain amount of money too, and you go live somewhere else and you can't make that much. There's like no way for some reason. So yeah. All right. So thank you, Christine, for passing this to Carl. Carl's over in the Philippines, and he has a hard time connecting with the rest of us. So he says, will I be safe today and get paid and then also pay my rent? He is, he's had some money issues. So let me just say that.
Okay, so I pulled the 9 of Cups for you, which doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna have to think about this one and see if this is, but the 9 of Cups is about wish fulfillment, and you have gotten the things that you want. It also it also asks us to, in that we have achieved all of this, and in this case, all of these cups, which is, again, water and the emotional realm, you've achieved this place. It encourages you to sit back and enjoy the luxury of what you have achieved. You have achieved what you want. So around the thought of, will I get paid and also pay my rent? I don't know. But I think this is, because this isn't even an earth suit, that the focus you're being pointed towards here is around your emotional place. And so, I don't know, if we feel fulfilled on the inside, will we then be able to expand that to our outer world, our material world? And I know it's hard to feel that way. I say this as someone who's worked paycheck to paycheck quite often. And it's hard to feel emotionally fulfilled at this moment. So, babe, I don't know. What do you see? I'm going to see if I can pull some clarity or an action.
Yeah, Carl, do you know if you suffer from depression? I think sometimes your fears and anxieties are way more heightened than you even realize. And part of that may have to do with the fact that you're just a very sensitive person, but also you might be what we would consider to be an empath, where you struggle with the emotional energy of other people. So sometimes it's easier to kind of disconnect or isolate yourself from others. But at the same time, when we do that, and I can relate to that because I've had to deal with that in my life. When we do that, we also become hyper focused on our own stuff. So it's like we either are hyper focused on our own stuff and we kind of spiral into the abyss of our thoughts, or we get consumed by other people's drama and it just becomes overwhelming. There is a healthy medium in there that I would recommend that has worked for me, which is if we are of service to others in a way where it's not overwhelming for us, meaning that we are helping Cancer rising. Yeah. If we are helpful to other people without being consumed or pulled into their drama, it will help to elevate our energy state and our mindset, and it will help us to have more regulation of our mood and energy and emotional state. So it does help. And so I would recommend that as just a tryout to see if that makes a difference with your energy state. As far as answering your question, I think two things around this. One is I do think you'll be able to pay your rent. I'm not really feeling concerned about that, but I'm also wondering if you've already applied for a type of disability, or if you've considered that, because I feel like there's something like that you would technically qualify for based on the circumstances and what you have going on health wise, mental health wise.
I don't know if they have that in Philippines though, hon.
Oh, the Philippines. Got it. Yeah. Got
so
it.
I pulled this as an action. It's home, but it's a star. So, and I'm just going to read this. It's a new deck. I'm still getting to know it. And the home is the very first sentence. Mm-hmm. You're being guided to come back home to who you truly are. Which sounds like it's resonating what Ferny was talking about. And it sounds like, and I know that your focus is on very much on earthbound and I mean like earth realm, coin, money. Will I be able to afford your material sense? But I'm feeling like there's a connection around who you are at your core, how you behave, how you feel, your emotional world, and you're being encouraged to, I think, tap back into it, or to acknowledge that it feels that though maybe money stuff feels scary or feels like there's anxiety around that to trust in who you are, come back to that home place and operate from there, from a basis. And then from there, maybe some of these other questions can be answered or new paths found in that way.
Wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So Amanda says, I'm walking and you said money issues, and I looked down and found a $20 bill on the ground.
Where are you walking, Amanda? I need like a just drop
Seattle, actually.
Drop a pin, please.
I think that's a good kind of walk that I want to go on. What do you think, guys? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay, so here we go with our next. This might be the last three for us today. I'm not sure the time. It's quarter of. Yeah, we'll see. All right. So, Wiki, if you don't have your question up, please put it up. The next one is. These are great readings, guys. Thank you so much. These are.
Well, I always like tag teaming with Ferny because
yeah, I don't
like
blame
tag teaming too, babe. I like
It's wonderful that you two have found each other and have the same interests. That's hard to do sometimes, you know?
It
Yeah,
is.
that was actually quite a surprise. I was really caught off guard by that.
Yeah, I bet you were. I bet you were.
Some
And
psychic didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't see that coming. No.
I'm kidding. He's a great psychic.
yeah. All
So
right.
Dora had a response to something that we talked. We were
Yes,
the
she
messages from her mom in the
did.
past. She said, she had a stroke and I had to put her in a nursing home. She was
Mhm.
paralyzed on her left side. She was there for 10 years, but she passed from a bed sore. You were on point. Thank you. Yeah, that's why I kept being reminded of my mother, because I've had to put my mother in an elderly care home. I mean, you can call it a nursing home, but you know, it's even with the best of care. She's got so many health things going on that we're trying to get stabilized, but one of the biggest issues that keeps coming up is her mental health, because she's schizophrenic. So it's just been a crazy period with her, and so I totally understand where she's coming from with having to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
totally. Wiki, I don't see a question here from you. It should be in. Okay. I'm not seeing it. If I hate to ask you to do this, but if you would put another one up for me, that would help me from having to scroll. And then I have CEV 12. Have you got a question in? Hopefully. Oh, I do have yours, Wiki. Sorry. Now CEV 12 and Nancy, make sure your questions are in for me to be able to have them read them. Thank you.
Just retire this. Three of Cups. I'm getting a lot of emotional energy around thoughts around money today. Three of Cups about community and building community and pouring love into a community. So I guess my follow-up question to you, Wiki, is do you enjoy your job? And do you enjoy the people that you work with, work for? Does that feel like community to you? Or the other side, are you ready to pour more of your emotional energy into family and friends and community engagement? Because this is about, rejuvenating relationships, rejuvenating community, finding the people that get us, and investing our energy into that. And so not knowing what you do for work or what your life is like outside of work is that would be my question that you don't have to answer, but just the thing to think about there.
Yeah, she's working remote part-time, it looks like.
So
Yeah.
this is always about like real people in real life. I was going to say, and so as I'm looking at three people here who work remotely around things. Like it's good to have time to do community things. I volunteer. I'm on a gay kickball team. I am always on Ferny's butt to like go make friends, go do things. Don't just work from home all the time. But community is important for us. So if you're working part-time and remote, I'm feeling like if you can swing it financially, then maybe that's a good idea.
Wiki, so I think you're gonna go ahead and pull the trigger next summer. I'm not thinking it's this summer. I'm thinking it's next summer, 2026. But after you pull the trigger, I feel like after you pull the trigger, after 4 or 5 months, you're gonna want something to do. I think the opportunity to do a short contract type of thing is gonna come up, and you'll do that twice, and then you'll be done with actually working. So I don't think you're gonna be done even when you retire. I think you're gonna still have 2 contract-based jobs come up that are just for a limited time, 6 months probably, and then after that, then you'll kind of be focusing on other things. But you are going to need to be involved in activity that helps you to feel like you're contributing or doing something in a way where it's making a difference. So after that, I wouldn't be surprised if you start to get involved with the community center or get involved with local events in your area where they put on events. Like I keep thinking of like a farmers markets, or when they're doing like these like, oh, let's see, we're doing the pride parade and there's these booths and I can see like people in the booths. So there's stuff like that that you'll get into after that.
Wow. Very cool.
And then the action, look who popped up again, spiritual cleansing. So it is time for a spiritual cleansing of the body, mind, or space in which you reside. There's an imbalance, stuck energy or heaviness that you have to deal with before you can proceed further. So I feel like this is a heavy question that's been weighing on you. And so you need to maybe focus a little bit on what is blocking you from making this decision, from knowing.
Yep. All right, Nancy, thank you for putting that up. All right. Denise McMullen, I will try to do yours, but could you give us his first name? I need his first name. It's very helpful for the gentleman. Okay, thank you.
Derek.
All right. All right. So the next person we have is CEV, and then Nancy, and then Denise will see if we can figure out what's going on. All right. What is the path to my goal from present, and when do I reach it?
What?
Is this? Yeah, is this
I don't understand the question.
yeah, is it spiritual goal? Is it a financial goal? Is it a relationship goal?
Yeah, you don't have to be so vague.
Yeah.
Like you giving us an idea of what you're asking about isn't going to mess your reading up. So just get to the point. Like, what do you mean? Because I don't understand the question.
Ace of Swords, path to your goal. This is like cut away the bullshit. Is the pardon my French. This is you're being offered a new opportunity to think clearly, see things clearly, see the truth, speak the truth. And so, what is the path to your goal? How you think, how you perceive truth, how you communicate, and a fresh way of doing it.
Yeah. CV 12, it says personal finance, I guess. I don't know I still don't know what your question is. So let me give you an example. I'm trying to work on my book. Am I going to have enough money to pay for my book? Or do you see me publishing my book? That's a specific question. What you're saying isn't specific enough. And it's like, my brain doesn't have anything to understand what you want to know. People assume that we know all and see all. We do not. I do not know everything about you. I sense things. So what I use is I give myself a question. Hey, when is her health going to improve, or is she going to be able to overcome this condition? And then I'll ask myself that question. My brain will start to pull at information to help me understand what it is that I'm seeing for your future. But unless I have a clear direction right now, you got two different topics and they're intersecting. So I still don't know the question. So if you can get clearer, please, so I understand what you're asking me.
All right. While we're doing that, I pulled the action, and it's trust. And this one is step into the unknown. All may not be revealed at this time. Trust in unseen forces. Meditate on this to let go of all attachments and free yourself from what's been holding you back. But we don't always get to know what that is. So it sounds like there is some unclarity is not the word I'm looking for, but some fog, some unknown around this idea of your
I
goal.
I don't think she knows what the question is.
So
she's still like,
yeah. So like that could be it. Like, you're being asked if I mean, maybe you don't want to share with us, and that's okay too.
Yeah, when will I reach my goal? What's the goal? Like, what do you want to know? Get clear, because here's the thing: if you're asking the universe for help, you need to know you need to be clear with the universe. The universe, this is what I'm asking for. And that way you're clear with the universe and you're sending a clear intention out there. So if you were treating us like we were the universe, what are you clearly asking me? Because your goal could be, I want to make dinner tonight. Am I going to reach that goal? Oh yeah, absolutely. But I need to know what you're asking me.
Use your sort of clarity to cut through all of this unknown. So in that around, I know we're speaking in sort of impassioned tones, like we're having fun here, but it is one of those. And I speak from if you don't know what your goal is, then it's very hard to achieve your goal if you're not clear.
Yes.
That's like you don't have to share with us, but it seems like we're sensing some cloudiness around what it is, and the goal is to reach through the clouds with your sword of truth and wisdom. For yourself,
and that could be the message she needed to hear.
Right. I see what he is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's sometimes. I mean, that happens sometimes. I mean, people sometimes will come in and they're not sure what they want, or they're just wait. Oh, I know my goal. I just feel like stating it jinxes it. No, that's the thing. So this is the thing that you need to work on. Here's what you need to hear. Own it. Own your power, because the moment I for the longest time, this is what I wanted to do for a living. For the longest time, I was trying to be, I felt pulled to be a psychic medium, but I was going to psychics waiting for them to tell me, hey, you're supposed to be a psychic medium. I never owned it. And even when I would go to parties and events and so forth, people are like, what do you do for a living? And I'd say, oh, I'm a life coach, or I wouldn't say it. When I started to own it, I'm a professional psychic medium. That's what I do. That's what I am. Right. The moment I stated that and I owned that is the moment that I began to align with experiences and with opportunities that got me there. Don't feel that something can take away your goal or your dream because because you want it, because you have a desire for it. It's not going to get jinxed. It's quite the opposite. The moment you say, I want this thing, and this is what I'm working towards, this is what I'm going to have. It took me 6 years to get my book out. I was talking about it as if I were already working on it. I didn't say I want to work on a book. I was saying I'm working on my book. It's taking time. It's taking time. And it took 6 years, but it got done. It didn't get jinxed because I said I'm working on a book or I'm going to have a book out. It was owned and empowered, and the universe aligned, and then the things started to roll in. So you need to learn to own what it is that you desire, so you can start to pull all the energy that you can behind it, instead of operating from a place of fear that you will not be worthy of it just by even stating it into reality with words.
Well, and if I may put another spin on it, it is, I have been an actor in life. I have been a writer in life. Those are not easy paths to pursue. And I absolutely understand the jinxing. I'm all one for like, don't knock on wood. I've waited tables many times, and I've yelled at coworkers when they're like, oh, it's 5 minutes till closing. No one's coming in. You're like, that's how you jinx it. And then tables walk in. Jinxing is how I'll speak for me. Jinxing is, looking at this around jinxing, is how we don't say what we want, go for what we want, because we're afraid to either acknowledge it aloud. We're afraid to acknowledge it to others because maybe they'll make fun of us. Maybe they won't understand our choices. Maybe they won't understand what we want. And so it is a sort of self-imposed safety system, self-defense around the things that we want, our goals, our dreams. And so by saying like, I don't want to jinx it, it's that it's so tenuous. I think kind of what Ferny was saying, like we have to own the things that we want and our goals. And jinxing it is just a way of not acknowledging it. It's also a way of not telling somebody out loud like what it's going to be, what I want. And then when they come back to us 5 years later and they're like, hey, why didn't you achieve this thing that you wanted? We're afraid of that. We're afraid of that. And so we rely on jinxing. So
yeah. Now, to answer the question, as far as the goal itself, I feel like you're going to have to make a choice, because I feel like by the beginning of next year, 2026, it feels like you can either pursue your goal individually, just like on your own, with just with the effort of your own intent, or there's someone that can help you with that process, whether it's like a collaboration or a partnership. I don't feel great about it, because I feel like sometimes we will change our dream or our goal in order to make it fit somebody else's vision, because we're needing their help or we think we can get there faster. You don't need to do that. So you might have to make some choices. If you go with that person and helping you to achieve things, it feels like you might get further along the process, but it's not going to be a version of the goal that you would prefer. If you go solo, I feel like you can get there. It's going to take longer. So you'll have to be patient and keep putting in effort so that you don't lose momentum.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. And actually that message really was for a lot of us. It really covered a lot of information that I was told 25, 30 years ago I was psychic. And I'm like, sure I am, I never really did anything with it because everybody was always better than I was. Until I just finally said, I am who I am. And, and I'm just different than everybody else. It doesn't mean it's not this, that I don't have some kind of gift. Yeah. All right. So we got another home. Will I be able to purchase a home this fall?
It's Real Estate Sunday here on
It is Real Estate Sunday. You guys ought to have your own show on that.
Psychics.
Okay, so here's an example of working with a new deck and getting a card that you don't understand. So I'm going to look it up, but this is the half. So this deck, I love this deck. It was a gift from it was a birthday gift from a close friend, and it is like tarot. It's like based on pagan, and so it includes 9 extra cards in here, and some of them are the moon phases. So I'm going to look this up real quick.
All right. Yeah.
You're welcome, CV12.
Oh, go, babe. If you have, I'm gonna.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I was like watching
here. I was
reading the comments.
Yeah.
I was like, being such a bitch today. I'm like, that's okay. I'm recovering from a cold, guys, so you'll have to bear with me because I'm still working through it.
I don't think you're being a bitch. You're okay.
And the meds are starting to wear off, so I'm like, okay.
That's why you got both of us. One of us for good cop, one of us for Ferny cop.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Nancy, will I be able to purchase a home this fall? Thank you. I feel like you're gonna apply. The interest rate that you get or the number you get isn't gonna look what it's not gonna be what you want it to be. So I feel like you're gonna still look at properties. I don't think you're gonna buy anything. I think you're probably gonna wait till the end of next year, so about a year and a half from now. And then I feel like you'll find something that works for you. Initially, you might want to go the route of having something built, but it's gonna feel like you'll get a better deal by just going with something that's already pre-built and then doing some renovations over time, which is what I think you'll end up doing anyways.
There you go.
Okay, so some of the gist of Half Moon here is that there are forces beyond our control, and sometimes it's best for us to just chill out and release the reins and trust in the flow of things. So let me pull an action here that hopefully will be a little bit clearer than that.
Sounds like the economy.
Psychic. So psychic, strangely enough, we have some similar shapes in here, these overlapping circles. I don't have a good answer for you. Like that's it's big, it's big, you know, like
yeah.
I mean, if she's ready, you know, and she's gotten herself right, but the economy is not making it easy for her, that to be the right opportunity at the time. I mean, it makes sense.
It does make sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
That cycles and everything is cyclic as well.
Mhm.
Yes. There you go. So you pulled the right cards. What can I
sure,
say?
yeah, right? It's change. Well, here's what I'm saying. It's change and transition.
Sure. Sure.
But whether the timing, I don't know. Sorry.
I understand. And it's very hard to give timing. I mean, I know you have given some here today, but it's still hard to do that.
Yeah.
All right. So I am doing this as a courtesy. She also gave us some money, a donation. Thank you. So she really would appreciate insight on her son, Derek. He's been literally sick and throwing up almost daily. She doesn't have a good feeling about it. He's her one and only child. And Denise is an adult, and I'm sure her child is not a kid, is an older person.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just first off, I am so sorry to hear that. And yeah. So I got the Two of Cups again. So obviously I'm feeling the connection between the two of you. And I mean, usually the Two of Cups is like new love of self. It's about partnership and connection and harmonious relationships. It does ask us to show love for ourselves first. And so around this question, I wonder if you are, I can't imagine. I don't have kids, and I know what you must be concerned. Are you taking care of yourself? I guess I would ask, are you feeling okay in yourself? That's what the two is asking me for. I'm going to just kind of check with some other cards and see if I can get some sort of clearer sense.
Yeah. So Denise, when I saw your question initially, I didn't have the clarity about him because I thought you were asking about someone that was deceased. So I didn't realize you were asking about someone that's alive. But what I was thinking about when I was thinking initially was I kept seeing the image of your son just kind of spiraling in his own energy, where it's almost like whenever someone is ingesting or taking, whether it's medication or substances or something, or it's the idea of whenever you're ingesting something that is not doing you any good, and it just causes further and further and further influence on your body. It reminds me of whenever someone's like an alcoholic and they're drinking too much and it's messing up their liver, or they're taking medication not realizing that the medication is interacting with something else and it's causing further degradation of the system. So when I think of your son Derek, I keep thinking of someone who may be contributing to their own situation, but in the way where it feels, I wouldn't say this feels intentional to me at all. This feels very much like this is just something that's continuing to bombard their system, and they're not making it any easier on themselves, or they're not trying to make it any easier, or not following directions or doing what they should be doing. If someone has a pain in their tooth and they still don't go to the doctor, they're contributing to themselves being in pain and having that get worse. And so I feel like he's not doing enough to take care of himself. and he does need to pay more attention and take things more seriously. I'm not assuming that your son is a baby or a kid. I'm assuming that your son is someone who can make some decisions. So that's the vibe that I'm getting around it. But I feel like there's only so much you can do for your son, because if he's unable or unwilling to do for himself or to make different decisions and get better help, then this is going to be a complicated situation. If he's in a type of situation right now where he's out of control, I'm scared that I'm in danger. Yeah, I feel like there's a combination of mental health as well as substance abuse that's happening here. And I feel like he's not taking accountability for his actions. He's 38. Yeah. He's blaming other people, I feel. And I feel like at this point, you have to do what's best for you. And I agree with Blaine in that, trying to take care of yourself, focus on your own needs, and protect yourself is the key at this point. Even though he's your son, there's only so much you can do for him at this point, because he is still responsible for himself.
Mhm.
So look who came up again, spiritual. So this is, so as I'm seeing more, I'm sorry, I think I misunderstood at first. So I think it makes sense. The Two of Cups is that you want this reciprocal relationship, this where you show empathy and you receive empathy, and it's this cycle between partnership and union. I mean, not necessarily partnership with a romantic partner, but with someone else. This idea of this beautiful two-way relationship. But if a relationship is not two ways, if a relationship is toxic, you're being told that it's heavy and you need to clean. You're wishing it could be this way. It doesn't sound like it's that way. So how can you protect yourself? Pour your energy and love into those that deserve it right now, that you don't feel scared around. Who can you seek out for empathy and support around the source of your son? Do you have someone else in your community, in your family, your friends? Is there someone else that you can, because you're feeling this connection very strongly between the two of you, and it's not healthy. It feels heavy. It needs not even just like a Windexing of the soul. Like, this is a full on smudge, clean the whole house, hire a crew. Like, this is hurting your spirit right now. And I feel a lot of empathy towards you.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry that you're in this situation, and that I'm sorry that he is not, I'm sorry it's not a more rejuvenating relationship with him.
Yeah. I'm hoping that, that he will go see the doctor, because he has to be the one that makes that decision, Denise, because no one wants to be sick all the time, I wouldn't think. And so, I certainly put a lot of love around you and Derek.
She said that she has the police watching her house when her husband is gone for work. Oh, look, there's a red racer in my yard. There's a snake in my yard. So.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. So you know what? That's a message. Denise, that's a message. So here's the thing. Here where I live at in Santa Fe, New Mexico, we have snakes, right? We have rattlesnakes, we have gopher snakes, we have red racers. One of the common snakes that I have as a regular visitor in my yard is a red racer. And he comes around, and I say he because I don't know if it's a he or she, but he comes around. There's two of them, and they come around weekly, every single week. Red racers are the kinds of snakes where they're not technically poisonous, but if you mess with them, they're going to come for you. And so we've learned to respect them because they do help us to keep other things in check. And we've learned to just leave them alone and give them space. I think this is what you need to do with your son. And it's not for me to tell you how you should choose to want to have a relationship with your son. But honestly, like, if he is that dangerous and that toxic in a place in his life right now, trying to help him is not going to be likely. You might just need to focus on your own well-being, your husband's well-being, and giving him space and respecting that this is where he is. This is the energy that he's in, and just let him be. Because in trying to feel this pressure to do something, and part of that may come from a sense of guilt of, maybe this is something I could have dealt with when I was younger, or maybe I didn't do this thing when he was at this age, or maybe I failed as a parent over this thing. That's not to say that you didn't make mistakes, but all people make mistakes. All parents make mistakes with their children. That's not for you to be putting on yourself right now. Right now is just to focus on sending out love, thinking of him, sending love to him, and focusing on your own well-being.
Good.
Denise, I'm sorry, I asked the question, what can you do to protect yourself? And it's the Three of Swords, and it's heartbreak. This is the heartbreak card.
It's hard to be a mom, to love your son as much as we love our children, and still know that we can't really do
Everything.
anything. It has to come from the sun. He has to be the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for pulling that, Blaine. That's quite telling. Yeah. As is the Red Racer. Wow. Yeah. Oh, honey. Well, we all sending you lots and lots of love, Denise. Honestly. Yeah. Honestly. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that has come in today, and especially to these two fine gentlemen that I have had on here. Fernie, put your book up and tell people where they can get it.
Buy his book.
You can get it on Amazon, on Barnes and Nobles, and on Walmart, and wherever else you can find it. So yeah, I'm going to be working with some bookstores to do some signings in the next year and do some stuff like that. But that's in the works. So I'll let y'all know whenever I get more information.
Oh, and there's a bookstore that I love in Santa Fe, the one that's way down the you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Signing there. Oh wow, that's awesome.
Wait, the Ark? Is it the Ark?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful. It goes on and all kinds of different things there, not just books, but yeah.
I love me a good metaphysical witch shop.
That's right. It's wonderful. It really is. So yes, thank you so much, everybody. Please like and subscribe to both Fernie and Blaine's channels, if you would, and their websites. You can reach them as well. Yep. And thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great day.